President Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, and there are winners and there are losers. And a lot of seniors are asking the same question: what is in this bill for you? Well, I am going to explain the big, beautiful bill in detail. And specifically, a lot of promises were made to seniors before the bill was passed. It includes increase. You were supposed to get an increase in benefits, no taxes on Social Security. There was a discussion around making car loan interest tax deductible. And if you live in a high cost state, that you could also deduct your local and state taxes from your federal taxes. Those were some of the things that were promised. So, in this bill, did the president deliver on his promise? And what about low income seniors? Were you taken care of in this bill? Well, that is my goal. I'm going to unpack all of this. It's a 1,000-page bill. There's a lot to cover, but I've done the research and I'm here to answer all your questions. My name is Kwame Kwade, and for 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefit they deserve. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and any personal finance issue in and out of Congress that could affect your benefits. I am here to bring it to you. If you are new here, welcome. I am happy you're here. Do me a favor, go into the comments and let me know your city and your state, because I like to know where you guys are watching this broadcast from. Plus, if you are a regular and you've been watching my channel for a while, I really, really appreciate you. Thanks for being here again. So let's dive in. So this is a piece of legislation that is at the core of President Trump's domestic agenda. And so it's a big deal. And it has taken a long process to get this to the finish line, but it's done. And it's going to reshape not only the economy, but also the personal finances of seniors for a long time. And so it's important for you to understand what is in this bill. And most importantly, how does it impact you? And who is getting what? And when it comes to seniors, there are winners and there are losers when it comes to the big, beautiful bill. And I want to bring you who is getting what. So let's talk about the winners. When you look at the big, beautiful bill, specifically, wealthy Americans come up on top. If you add it all up, wealthy Americans come up on top. There's no way to sugarcoat that. If you are making more than $200,000, you get an average tax break of $12,500. But millionaires are getting 25% of all the tax breaks that are in this bill. The average millionaire is going to get $118,000 a year in tax break. And here's the thing: if you are wealthy and you leave up to $15 million in inheritance for your kids or whoever, they can inherit that. Your family can inherit from you tax free, up to 15 million. Big corporations are also benefiting from this bill. The corporate tax rate is permanently being locked in at 21%. And there's 100% depreciation, bonus depreciation. It means that if you're a company, a big company, you buy an equipment, you can write it off, all of it right away. And there are tax breaks for business investment. Look, this, I'm not against this. I'm just reporting the facts, and then you can make your own decisions about it. Now, if you work and you're a senior citizen, there are things here that are good that seniors are going to benefit. So let's talk about seniors specifically. How does this bill impact seniors? Well, if you're in the high income category as a senior, making $200,000 plus, you're getting a $6,000 tax deduction. But if you file taxes, so if you're a senior citizen and you don't file taxes because you don't make enough money, unfortunately, you don't qualify for this $6,000 tax deduction. And as I mentioned, if you're a senior citizen and you're wealthy and you leave, up to $15 million in inheritance for your family, they can inherit it tax free. And then if you live in a state where local and state taxes are high, Now you can deduct up to $40,000 in your local and state taxes. So if you live in New York, New Jersey, California, Massachusetts, Washington state, states that have high local and state taxes, Connecticut, etc., then there's a lot in this bill that you're going to like, because you can deduct up to 40,000 in your federal taxes. And then there is, if you have private insurance, you're a senior citizen, you're working, you have private insurance or Medicare Advantage, then this bill does not touch your health care at all. But if you're a low income senior, your health care is at risk. And I'll talk about that in a second. Now, if you also work as a senior citizen and you get tips, well, you can take the first $25,000 tax free. And if you get overtime, the first $12,500 is also tax free. These ones expire in 2028, by the way. They are not permanent. Everything I talked about before, the tax breaks for the rich, for corporations, inheritance tax, all of them are permanent. But the ones that are going to benefit the middle class and the lower income category, they are not permanent. They're going to expire in 2028 once President Trump's term is over. So the no tax on tips, the $25,000 you can take, is only going to happen for 3 years. The same thing with the no tax on overtime. So let's get back to the $6,000 deduction. The president promised no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security. Those were the three-legged stool that he campaigned on. Well, unfortunately, no tax on Social Security did not make it into the bill. Instead, they're offering the $6,000 tax deduction, which is going to help if you do file taxes. If you are a senior and you don't make enough money to file taxes on Social Security or disability benefits, then there is not enough in this bill for you. Actually, they are taking from you, because 16 million are going to lose coverage in Medicaid. 7.2 million are going to lose food stamps. And there are some other requirements where now, if you're a senior citizen, to get food stamps and Medicaid, you have to work up until age 64 and a half. It used to be age 54. So they've added 10 more years for seniors to work to continue to get health and food assistance. But here's the thing. There's a lot they could have done for senior citizens that are low income. There's a lot of bills that are currently in front of Congress that they could have passed that could have helped you. And so that's what I want to talk about, because it's not over. There's more Congress can do this year, 2025, to help seniors and put more money in their pocket, especially low-income seniors who are struggling, who can barely make it. Recently, there was a senior that shared how much they are spending in terms of, on a monthly basis, how much they are spending. And it was kind of a window into how seniors are struggling to make ends meet, because this person shared that they were making about $1,800 in Social Security benefits, but their total bills for the month is about $2,300. And so where is the other $500 coming from? That's why a lot of seniors, low income seniors, are making difficult choices on a monthly basis regarding what to pay for and what not to pay for, because the Social Security check is not going far. It's not stretching that much. And over the last 10 years, seniors have lost 20% of their Social Security purchasing power. It means that inflation has eaten away some of your Social Security check. And so seniors are falling behind. So what could have been done? Well, I'm going to give you 5 solid ideas. I actually have 7, but I'll present 5 today. But before I do that, let's talk about Medicare for a second, because I want to make sure you stay to the end of this, because I'm going to talk about our partner, Chapter Medicare, who can help you save money on Medicare. Now that I'm talking about saving money and what can be done for seniors in the low income category. Part of it is to be in the right Medicare plan. But a lot of seniors are not. 90% of seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan. And so it's costing you money, it's costing you your health, because if you need the service and then you find out you're in the wrong plan that does not cover the service, that's even worse. So stay tuned. I'll explain what our partner chapter can do for you. The call is free, it's unbiased, and I'm actually going to put a form in the description below that you can fill out. If you don't want to call them, just fill out the form. It's very quick, and they will reach out to you and help you get into the best Medicare plan that is out there for you that meets your needs. So now let's talk about the 5 things that they could have done for low income seniors. And I have more, but I'm going to focus on 5. The first one is to pass the Social Security 2100 Act. This is already a legislation that is in front of Congress that will increase Social Security benefits by $660 for certain seniors. And this particular legislation is aimed at seniors who are living in poverty. A lot of seniors are getting Social Security benefits that put them in poverty. And you may think, how do we know that? Well, the government itself comes up with a chart every year called the federal poverty level. And it's the government way of measuring who is living in poverty and who is not. And that is how government assistance are allocated based on where you fall in that chart. Well, excuse me. If you're an individual, the government is saying that in 2025, if you make less than $15,000, you're living in poverty. Well, there are seniors getting $800, $900, $1,000 in Social Security benefits, and they're definitely living in poverty. And I think it's wrong, because in today's age, if you are a senior and you've paid into Social Security, you've paid your taxes, you've worked 30, 40 years, and you just happen to work in low-wage jobs, then your Social Security is reflecting that because you didn't pay a lot into the system, so you get a tiny check. Well, the government can do something about that, and there is legislation called the 2100 Act that will lift you out of poverty by putting you at 125% of the federal poverty level. It means that your Social Security check will be increased to 125% of whatever the government says is poverty. So you're always going to be living a little bit above poverty. It's not a lot, but it's at least better than living below poverty. And so that will boost Social Security checks by $660. And if you're getting $1,000, that is a big increase and a meaningful increase that can help you versus where you are today. The second thing they could have done was pass the Social Security Expansion Act. This one has been dangled in front of seniors for a long time. Every time they're looking for votes, they will mention it, but then once the vote is done and they go back into Congress, they don't do anything about it. The Social Security Expansion Act will increase benefits by $200. They've been talking about it for a few years now. They might as well increase that $200 to $300 because inflation has eaten up a chunk of it already. But the point is that it will increase your benefits by $200 right away. That means that your Social Security check for the year will go up by $2,400. Now, cost of living adjustment for Social Security was on average about $40 to $50. So a $200 increase quadruples what you got as your Social Security increase. So it is something. And I think that that's something that they could have included in this bill, because look at all the things I've told you. If you're rich and you leave your family $15 million inheritance, you pay no taxes. If you're a millionaire, you get $118,000 in benefits, in tax cuts. If you make over $200,000, you get $12,500 annually in tax breaks. If you're a corporation, your taxes have been lowered permanently from 35 to 21%. And you can buy equipment and we can write off 100% of it without paying off your taxes. I mean, there's a lot here that skew primarily towards the rich. $150 billion in increase for defense spending, et cetera, and so on and so forth. So it's not a lot to ask that seniors on Social Security and disability who are struggling to get a $200 increase. That is not going to break the bank, especially when they're spending trillions of dollars and borrowing trillions of dollars to give tax breaks primarily to the wealthy. So that's the second thing they could have done. The third thing is boost your food stamps benefits. 5 million seniors qualify for food stamps but do not apply. And in my research, part of the reason is that seniors are frustrated that they apply and then they get nothing. They get $23. That cannot even buy a meal for a day. So by increasing this food stamps minimum to $75 and removing the asset cap or asset limit, or at least pushing the asset limit to 10,000, would encourage a lot of seniors to apply, because many seniors apply for food stamps and are told that they make too much money, but the average Social Security benefit is $1,905. So I don't see how that is too much money. So by increasing the asset limit to 10,000, it allows seniors to have a little bit of savings and still qualify for food stamps, but most importantly, increase the minimum benefit to $75, because that's going to help a lot of seniors. At least you get one grocery trip out of it, one grocery shopping out of it, if you get $75 minimum. The fourth thing they should have done was do something about the cost of living adjustment. Social Security cost of living adjustment is a joke. This year it was 2.5%. Meanwhile, everything else has increased dramatically. And Medicare Part B premium went up by 6.6%. So, how can the same government that is taking Medicare Part B premiums out of your Social Security check, increasing your Part B premium by 6.6%, but then increasing your Social Security benefit by 2.5%? It means that the government knows that cost has increased in other areas. So it's kind of a slap in the face when you give seniors a 2.5% increase and then turn around and take Medicare Part B premium that you've increased by 6.6%. So I think permanently, and this is a bill that has been around and talked about in Congress, to push the Social Security cost of living adjustment at a minimum of 3.5%. So under no circumstance will seniors get Social Security cost of living adjustment less than 3.5%. That will help with how much seniors have lost in purchasing power. Specifically, seniors have lost 20% of their Social Security purchasing power in the last 10 years because of rising inflation. And with inflation, the government is saying that inflation has slowed down, but the prices that went up never came back down. And so if your Social Security check is buying less and less, it's because prices have gone up and stayed up. It will be a different story if the prices that went up came back down. They didn't, they stayed up. And so seniors are already behind, and that this makes them even fall further behind. So by putting the minimum Social Security cost of living adjustment as 3.5%, it's going to help seniors tremendously. And then number 5 is help seniors with property taxes. A lot of seniors are struggling to pay property taxes. Even if you've paid your home off, you have to deal with property taxes every year. And in some states, it's crushing. And if we're giving $150 billion to all these people, and manufacturers like John Deere and Caterpillar are going to get equipment tax breaks, defense contractors like Palantir are going to see major gains in this bill. Why not also help seniors? Big corporations are getting a permanent reduction in their taxes. Seniors can also get an help with property taxes, at least a fund that helps them apply to get some relief with their property taxes, or exempt seniors from property taxes. I mean, I know they're not going to do that because states want their money, but at least put a fund in there that helps seniors who are low income get some relief with property taxes. And when I mean exempt seniors from property taxes, I mean low income seniors, because they are the ones that are struggling and need the help the most. So let's talk about Medicare. Now, I have something I want to share with you. Give me 90 seconds because I think this is important. A lot of seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan and it's costing you. If you're turning 65 or you're already in a plan and you're not happy with, or you don't know you could be in a better plan, you actually could, because 90% of seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan. Why? Because there's 24,000 plans out there. And recently, the Trump administration sued a whole bunch of Medicare advisory companies because they were getting kickback from the insurance companies to push certain plans that seniors do not need. They were putting you in the wrong plan. So that explains why 90% of seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan, because you're getting the runaround and getting the wrong advice. That is why we've partnered with Chapter. Chapter was founded because Pat Reason, one of the co-founders, saw firsthand his parents going through the frustration of signing up for Medicare, getting in the wrong plan, paying hundreds of dollars a month in benefits they did not need or were not in the right plan to begin with. And that is what motivated him to help start this company. And so their whole mission is to help you get into a good plan. Over 2,000 of our viewers, like you, have called Chapter and gotten help and got into a better plan. And you can too. There may be a small window for you to be able to do this, so you need to call today, or I'm going to put a form in the description to this video and I'm going to pin it into the comments. Fill out the form, they will reach out to you. The call is free and it's unbiased. They are not there to push you a specific plan. They are there to get you into the right plan that it fits you in your local area. And they're going to check if you're in the right plan. And if you are, they'll tell you. And if you're not, then they'll help you get into a better one. So call them at 539-205-2147, the number on the screen, or fill out the form. If you don't want to call, fill out the form below. These are the people you'll be talking to when you call. So they are real agents that are out there standing by to help you through this. Chapter is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and tons of 5-star reviews, and they can save you $1,100 a year. That is why we are working with them, because they are the real deal and they're there to be in your corner and be your advocate and help you get the best out of Medicare. So give them a call today and let them know that we sent you from Benefits Insider. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about Medicare. And I'm going to be unpacking details of the big, beautiful bill. And most importantly, if you are losing benefits, I'm going to be creating resources to help you on how you can get help. And there's a ton of paperwork that is coming from this bill that is supposed to frustrate you and make you give up on your benefits. I am going to create resources to help you stay on top of the paperwork so that you don't lose your benefits. And if you know somebody in your family that needs to hear this, forward this video to them, because this is critical information that everybody, especially low-income households, need to know, because there's a lot that is coming that you need to be aware of, and I'm going to be unpacking that in the next couple of videos. So I'll see you tomorrow in another live. Thank you for joining me.